Back in April of 2020, Will posted an article about 7 of the heaviest games to release on the Nintendo Switch, but there have already been a hefty amount of titles that have released on the hybrid console that have pushed download file sizes to the limits. This list has been bumped to games over 20 gigabytes. Check out these top 10 and see which games dominate the file sizes department on your Nintendo Switch. My name is Jason Cap, and welcome to Nintendo Link. Coming up at number 10 is Wolfenstein Young Blood at 20.6 gigabytes. Right off the bat, we have some Young Blood on our file sizes list. Wolfenstein Young Blood clocks in at 20.6 gigabytes of space, and it looks absolutely amazing on the Nintendo Switch. Sure, Machine Gun Games had to make some compromises for this port to work on the console, but they really did work some magic and got a giant game to not only run well on the Switch, but look great in the process. We are starting this list off at 20.6 gigabytes, so it only goes up from here. Coming in at number 9 is WWE 2K18 at 21.2 gigabytes. The first of a couple to make it from the previous list that Will made, WWE 2K18 was and still is a massive download for Switch owners, clocking in at 21.2 gigabytes. Although this is not the best ported game on the system, it is the only proper WWE game that has released on the Switch. Since WWE 2K18, WWE has released some spin-off games instead of continuing to pump out the 2K games as they are on other consoles. This may be a download you just need to powerbomb and throw out of the ring. At number 8, we actually have a tie between Doom and Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, both clocking in at 22 gigabytes. These two behemoths from Bethesda have file sizes of 22 gigabytes, which can be quite overwhelming for Switch owners lacking a micro SD card. Both games have been ported over to Switch masterfully and look excellent in the process. It is shocking, spoiler alert, that the recently released Doom Eternal did not make this list at all, clocking in at 18.8 gigabytes, well behind its predecessor. If you are looking for a bloody good time and have massive amounts of space available on your hybrid console, these are two great games that we welcome on anyone's Switch library. At number 7, Mortal Kombat 11 at 22.5 gigabytes. Mortal Kombat 11 has seen great success on the Nintendo Switch, and it even recently got a huge update that adds more DLC characters and additional storylines. The series has done a great job staying relevant, and this new entry has brought along a lot of classic horror and action movie characters into the already impressive lineup of fighters. But in order to enjoy this one, you need to free up at least 22.5 gigabytes of space. Looks like it is time to uppercut some of those old games off of your Switch to make room for this deadly tournament. At number 6, Resident Evil Revelations 2 clocks in at 23.6 gigabytes. The Resident Evil Revelations series released on the Switch back in November of 2017, and both games are incredibly fun throwbacks to a series that has seemingly lost its way. Resident Evil Revelations 2 is a massive 23.6 gigabytes, a whole 10 gigabytes larger than its predecessor, Resident Evil Revelations. Although neither game has seen strong commercial success, both games are enjoyable, and even a bit scary. But in order to get Resident Evil Revelations 2 on your Switch, you have to get that shotgun ready and take out the 5 heaviest file sizes currently on your console to make room for this one. Number 5 sees DC Universe Online at 24.1 gigabytes. DC Universe Online is a free-to-play action game based on the, well, DC comic book universe. You are able to create your own superhero or villain and venture on missions to battle huge names like Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. But as huge as those names are, they don't compare to how huge the file size is for this to download, as DC Universe Online will require 24.1 gigabytes to play. I don't know how many superpowers you need to magically make that much space appear on your Switch, but good luck, Superman. Coming in at number 4 is Warframe, 24.5 gigabytes. Warframe is another free-to-play game on the Nintendo Switch that puts you in the boots of a futuristic ninja as you embark a far-off world where danger lurks at every corner. One of those dangers? You guessed it. It's a 24.5 gigabyte download to enjoy this game on your console. You are able to squad with 3 friends online, but before you do that, you may need those same 3 friends to look at your storage space and see if this is even something you can download. For being a game about ninjas, it sure is not hiding its massive download size. At number 3 is LA Noire at 27.4 gigabytes. Somehow, LA Noire topped our previous list that Will Goad made, but it is no longer the king of file sizes. Actually, it never really was. This dark and violent crime thriller from Rockstar arrived on the Switch pretty early and was one of the biggest third-party titles in the beginning of the Switch's existence. But one reason people stayed away from downloading this one? Well, early Switch adopters were probably not well prepared for a 27.4 gigabyte download that immediately takes up all the eternal storage. You might be solving crimes in this game, but I need to find out how LA Noire stole so much of my space on my microSD card. For the silver medal, we've got The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt at 31.5 gigabytes. CD Projekt has been facing a lot of flack due to problems with Cyberpunk 2077, but let us not forget how unbelievably they ported The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt onto the Nintendo Switch. Yes, this game is massive, clocking in at 31.5 gigabytes, but it is absolutely worth the space it requires because this is one of the best ported games on the hybrid console. Many people were worried when this was initially announced, but those worries were cast away immediately once people got their hands on this award-winning action role-playing game. The hunt is on for a microSD card of substantial size because we still have another game, or 3 technically, to talk about. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we got, drumroll please, NBA 2K21 at 39.4 gigabytes, NBA 2K20 at 41.3 gigabytes, and NBA 2K19 at 32.7 gigabytes. I decided to clump the past 3 NBA 2K games together in the number 1 spot because otherwise they would have been 1, 2, and 3. NBA 2K20 takes the cake at 41.3 gigabytes. Then, the recently released NBA 2K21 at 39.4 gigabytes, and finally, NBA 2K19 at 32.7 gigabytes. All 3 of these titles simply dominate the file sizes contest for the Nintendo Switch, and it is honestly not even close. A clean sweep from the top NBA players, and we may have to update this list again once NBA 2K22 arrives, since the series has already proven that they are the largest. And since they are competitive athletes, I don't think they want to give up their title anytime soon. Thank you for stopping by Nintendo Link. What did you think of this list of file sizes on the Nintendo Switch? Were there any surprises? Is your microSD card loaded with all 10 of these games? Technically, it's like 14 games. Let us know in the comments below, and don't you forget to like, subscribe, and keep an eye out for more Nintendo news, more Switch game announcements here at Nintendo Link. My name is Jason. Happy gaming, everyone.